Welcome. It's Meditation Monday. Just fixing myself up here. I'll invite you to do the same. Find that comfortable seat. Notice right away what's going on in the body, what's going on with the breath. What can you feel? The best way to check in is just to start feeling how you feel, right? Just to see, okay, that's how my breath feels right now. That's how my body feels. Maybe it takes a minute to land in the present moment, to land in your body. So notice that, right? Maybe you need some movement. I did that last week specifically. We talked about movement and how you want to generate some energy. You could do that. Take up space. Make sure you have room to breathe. Make sure that, observe that you have this ability to be here in the room you chose, and to just take notice, right? Notice that you get to breathe, right? You have the opportunity to do that. You have the option to pay attention to the breath, because otherwise it's going to happen no matter what. That you get to breathe, that you get to choose, that you can pay attention to it is a gift, right? It's something that you can be fortunate to know that you can, I can actually focus my breath. I can change my breath. And by doing that, I can change the state of which my brain is kind of fluctuating in. So let's take a few moments to feel yourself. You can roll your shoulders a little bit. You can notice your body. And again, feel what your breath feels like. Just before we change anything, notice where in the body you feel it. And take a few deep breaths. So now you can go ahead and try to breathe in a little bit more, if you can, through the nose. Expanding, and as you exhale, maybe back out through the nose or the mouth. Let it go. And get a few of those. Cleanse yourself of the worry, the strain, everything with those breaths. Like, let it be something where you're like washing clothes. You can, or washing your hands, right? You need to add that water. Imagine your breath like that cleansing water for the cleaning of the whatever, right? The dirt, the gunk, the nastiness. Take a deep breath and a full breath out. So I brought along my Stillness Speaks book. It's an Eckhart Tolle kind of collection of excerpts. And The Power of Now is like his famous book that I love, that most people know him by. And then there's just kind of more words and stuff like that he said. He's a speaker. He talks mostly about being present, just noticing the present moment and being here and now, right? The concept of being in this moment right here and now. So I'll start the concept here with this. So find that comfortable seat. Notice your spine. Feel your shoulders. Notice your neck. Feel your hips, your knees. And connect to your breath. I'll take a few breaths with you so we can notice just how it all is. So as you begin to land in the present, into the state, into your body, notice what you notice. And I'll start here. So he says the equivalent of external noise is the inner noise of thinking, right? The concept here being, when you hear all this stuff going on outside of your body or in your home, whatever, external from you. Noise, right? Noise, loud things, whatever. That's the same thing as your thoughts inside your head, right? It's just like chatter, 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 go, go, go. Maybe it's annoying, maybe it's loud, all of those things. It's the same thing as your thoughts on the inside. So the equivalent of the external noise is the inner noise of thinking. So the opposite is the equivalent of external silence, right? When there's no noise outside, is the same as your inner stillness. And that's to say that there's something inside you that's deeper than your external self that is still, that's quiet and not moving, not changing. And that's the thing you want to try to anchor to when you sit and meditate. Whenever there is some silence around you, listen to it. Listen to the silence. That means just notice it. Pay attention to it. Listening to silence awakens the dimension of stillness within yourself, because it is only through stillness that you can be aware of silence. See that in the moment of noticing the silence around you, you are not thinking. You are aware, but not thinking. So when you become aware of silence, immediately there's a state of inner still alertness. So you're noticing stillness, but you're aware. It's a noticing, and this is alertness to it. You are present. You have stepped out of thousands of years of collective human conditioning. So allow yourself to feel and notice silence, and therefore stillness. So that's what we're going to work on today. That's how our meditation is going to go. As you notice as much silence as you possibly can, right? So I have a pretty quiet setting right now. I'm hearing kind of the whir of my computer. There's some birds outside, but there's no overt noise, subtle noises here and there. And so you just enjoy what you can in your space, right? Notice what noises you hear externally. And if it's quiet enough, start to tune into the stillness, to the silence, I should say. So as you start closing the eyes down, let this be a moment where you can just attach to the auditory senses, right? Listen to what you can hear. So the first thing we'll do is kind of notice what you hear. And you don't have to think about it, don't label it, don't apply any intellect to it. Just simply notice it. And then as that sound continues to happen, which if it's a sound that's continuous and it continues to happen, continue to allow it and notice just what you can. And then begin to notice the silence. Notice what you can of where there isn't noise, right? It's a little harder to notice that. Seeing if you can kind of detach from the concept of, well, that's a noise and I need to identify it, and maybe it's annoying and I have to change it, right? Rather than that, simply hearing it, letting it happen, and then trying to notice the silence. Right? If there's a noise that happens, okay. Come back to the concept of no noise, of silence. And you just keep that open for now. Hearing what you hear. not hearing what's not there, right? And then as we begin to go even more inward, right, you start to just allow those things to happen, whether it's completely silent or if there's sound. Now start to notice the breath. So breathing, as you breathe in, you notice the air in the lungs, and as you exhale, you notice the release. And inhale and exhale. But on the next few rounds of breath, what you're going to try to pay attention to is the space between the inhale and the exhale. It might be minor, right? Don't necessarily try to hold your breath at the top or the bottom, but notice even that brief micro moment where there is no in and no out. So find a few rounds of that breath here. The goal for the next few minutes is going to be noticing your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Seeing if you can notice that middle moment between breaths where it's in and out, right? There should be a stillness there. And notice, if you can, the silence around you in the room. And I'm going to go and sit with you. And we're going to see if we notice stillness and silence together. So just find that back and forth, in and out. start to notice the whole breath again, in and out. You can allow sounds to continue. Maybe slowly start to open the eyes if they were closed, and bring your whole self and senses back to the present moment. If you notice the light in the room, the sounds, maybe it's the temperature of the air. Smells and taste, and just notice, again, without labels, without needing to fix or change, just simply be. And see if a few minutes of silence makes you feel or notice anything else, right? It's just notes to take, right? Mental notes. Just like, okay, I did notice this difference or this change, or maybe you notice nothing different. Maybe it's whatever. And again, it's the same thing. Even if you think something really strongly about it, you can also let that go as much as anything else. Then you thank yourself. You thank yourself for arriving, for taking maybe a few minutes out of your day to sit with stillness, with silence, right? It can be hard. I think it was maybe 3 minutes of silence, pure silence, right? So that sometimes and alone can be difficult. So notice that. Thank yourself. I thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your Meditation Monday week and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you again later.